Iqbal Mohamed.
Thank you, Dr. Huck. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairship, and I want to congratulate my honourable friend, the member for Huddersfield, my neighbour, for securing this really important debate. Unfortunately, we live in a world of competing crises and wars, one overshadowing the next, depending on how horrifying we perceive the situation to be, how close it feels, or how much the cameras are rolling. Unfortunately, some conflicts get forgotten or neglected. Some horrors are met with silence, not outrage. Sudan, in the grand scheme of reactions, is one of them. And this is a really important debate to highlight the atrocities that are happening there today and have been happening there for several years. Since April 23, Sudan has spiralled into a living nightmare for those living there or watching their country from afar. As we've heard, over 40 million people have been displaced, cities reduced to rubble, markets bombed, women and girls raped, entire communities starved. In August 24, famine was officially declared in Zamzam, with a displacement camp in Darfur now home to over 400,000 people. And as we have heard today, over 25 million people across Sudan are food insecure, which equates to half of the country starving. And just like in most conflicts, we're seeing more than half those affected are children. Most recently, just in this month, on July the 10th, reports confirmed that at least 60 civilians, including 35 children, were killed in attacks near Bara. On July the 14th, over 200 people were killed in RSF raids. El Fasher saw RSF shelling on July the 12th, which killed 5 people, including children. And on July the 16th, shelling killed 5 more civilians, again including children. As we've heard, MSF warns of ongoing ethnically targeted mass violence, looting, sexual assaults, abductions, destruction of health infrastructure and starvation. This is unacceptable, and we must do everything we can to stop these atrocities. But let's be clear, many of these atrocities, including using famine and starvation as a weapon of war, are not a natural disaster. It's not a drought or a crop failure. This is famine as a weapon of war, and this is supply of weapons by our allies to the forces that are killing civilians on the ground. Warring factions, the RSF and the Sudanese armed forces, are deliberately blocking aid and attacking humanitarian workers and turning hunger into a method of control. The United Nations, the International Criminal Court, the US and UK governments have all confirmed the atrocities are war crimes, are crimes against humanity and a crime of genocide, and still the world barely watches. This is not just about Sudan. We are seeing a terrifying pattern in Sudan, in Palestine and beyond, where famine and genocide are becoming the tools of modern warfare. Never again cannot become a slogan. It must be a promise that we honour for as long as we walk this earth. But these crimes can be stopped. The perpetrators are not just acting in a vacuum. They continue to act like this as they know the world turns a blind eye, when the world keeps weapons flowing into the country, and when humanitarian aid is treated as optional, not urgent and necessary. Sudan's partners must exert real pressure to the conflict to stop targeting civilians and bring perpetrators of international humanitarian human rights laws to justice. So today, I ask us, the UK government, to do everything it can to stop the atrocities, to save lives, to get food to starving babies, to support the women and girls who have been subject to sexual violence. And we must demand immediate, unimpeded access to humanitarian aid. The people of Sudan are not nameless victims of a faraway war. They are mothers, students, teachers, children, human beings deserving of dignity, safety and hope. Let us not allow Sudan to become a forgotten catastrophe. Let us not accept famine and genocide as the cost of inaction from the international community. Because if weapons of war if the weapons of war of famine, sexual violence, genocide are allowed to continue, they will be normalised. They will be repeated. And as always, our silence will mean our complicity. Thank you.
Annelies Dodds.